Well, they're at it again. I mean, they will never stop. The left is gaslighting again, and they're really terrible at it, I'll be honest with you. They're so bad. I mean, their desperation is so over the top obvious that it's almost sad. If you remember, right after the election, they started in with this right after the election. They started with the social media posts, and then they scripted it out for their MSNBC talking heads to go on the air and talk about how Trump supporters regret their vote. Trump supporters are telling me, former Trump supporters are telling me they regret voting for Trump on November 5th. They said, I didn't vote for this. I didn't vote. What exactly is this that supposedly we didn't vote for? Anyway, nobody knows. But they're dead set on insisting that you didn't vote for it. Like we're so stupid that we don't even know why we showed up at the polls. Then they roll out these radio commercials, which I'm hearing are airing all over the country, where they'll have some supposed Trump supporter on the commercial accusing congressional Republicans of slashing Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. But then they conveniently leave out that part about where those cuts are aimed at waste and fraud, as if that's a bad thing. Republicans are trying to stop the crooks and the thieves from stealing your Social Security. That's the real problem with Social Security. The reason Social Security may very well end up being insolvent is all of the theft, the fraud, and the abuse that has been bleeding Social Security dry for years. But the left keeps flailing around with this awful gaslighting, trying to convince people that it's the Republicans and the Trump supporters who are responsible for it. And then you've got these hands-off rallies that were orchestrated by these different groups like George Soros's Indivisible, or other groups like Act Blue, the Tides Foundation. They're paid for by USAID, the Democrat Socialists of America. They're all involved in these things to make it look like there's literally tens of thousands of former Trump supporters turning on the orange president and going out into the streets and joining the Democrats. It's a pathetic clown show. It's nothing but a mirage to make you think that the tide is turning on Donald Trump. Remember years ago, the walls are closing in. The walls are closing in on Trump. It's the same damn thing. And then get this, AOC and Bernie Sanders going around holding rallies around their country, and they're coming here to Bakersfield next week. It's all a part of what they call the Fighting Oligarchy Tour, which I think is a laugh because it's being paid for by groups like Indivisible, Open Societies, and the Tides Foundation, all of which are funded by the biggest oligarch in America, George Soros. I mean, Bakersfield, they're coming to Bakersfield. This is a town, by the way, that has gone hard for Trump 3 times in a row. And people are asking, well, why are they coming to MAGA country? Why are they coming to Bakersfield? They'll never get a crowd here. But that's the trick. That's what it's all about. They're bussing in hundreds, maybe even 1,000 people or so from outside of Bakersfield, probably even paying some folks to show up, just so they can flash a shot of this huge crowd in Kern County and say, look at the turnout in Bakersfield. Well, just look at how many people turned out. This is where Trump used to be popular, but not anymore, because people are turning out and speaking out against him. It's all about perception. Perception is 90% of reality, and they're betting that perception will erode Trump's support among the hard-working American patriots in middle America. But they're wrong. I mean, they have underestimated us. This ain't going to work because Trump supporters aren't a bunch of weak-minded lemmings chasing the latest trend. We got a fire in our bellies, for the love of Pete. We want to save this country from the con men and the liars and the grifters on the left, and in some cases in the Republican Party itself. And there's more of us than there are of them. We outnumber them. And they can bus in all the fake crowds that they want, run all their fake ads, but we see through all of this. We ain't fallen for it. We didn't fall for it during his first term. We didn't fall for it during any of the trials and tribulations of Donald Trump during the Biden term, and we're not going to fall for it now. We know what we voted for, a leader who's fighting for us, not the elites, not the globalists, not some special interest group, and no George Soros-funded stunt is going to change that. We're in this for the long haul. And we're not backing down.